Hello, in this video we're going to go for a drive through some unusual areas and unusual situations to see how you would handle them, and I also want you to help me solve a mystery later in the video. So let's turn on and let's get going. So I'm currently in a place called Austin Village, as you'll be seeing on the map, and this is actually the second version of this video because I just started filming it and I forgot to turn on the thing that records the map, so I've had to come and start it again. It's actually the third version. But the first thing we're going to look at is the road on the left. It's going to go mirrors, signal left, and as you enter this road, just look at it, row and way, and it's quite odd because this catches people out. They're not expecting it to be this narrow, especially with a car park there. And then there's a roundabout, but is it a roundabout? Because it doesn't say go left, so you have to go left. Do you give way to the right? It's a bit odd. It's a very strange, very old area, this. And the first thing I wanted to show you is actually a sign back there. I'll put a picture up on the screen in a moment. There is a sign warning people to slow down because lots of cats are in the area. See, so I'm coming off, it's very narrow, very awkward, and there's a crossroads. There's another one of these roundabouts ahead, so I'll go right and I'll show you this. But yeah, I'll put a picture up on the screen now. There's a sign saying watch out because there's lots of cats in the area, so be slow, but it's not there today. I took that picture yesterday. There's been lots of cats in my videos recently. If you notice, the ones I filmed in September and October 2025, I keep getting cats appear and lots of little cats keep walking in front of me and coming up to the car. So when I go next left, looking ahead, the road kind of splits into a dual carriageway, which is in itself a bit strange because it's got a big tree in the middle of the road at the end. But I'm going to come down first because here there is another one of these strange kind of turns with a roundabout that isn't a roundabout, but is it? So you roll up, clutch down one, looking, checking around, and going around. People have come the other way on this. I've seen people come up this way. So I'm going to mirror signal, clutch brake, ready to hold back because it's so narrow. There's a car there who's going the other way, but if they come up this way, I may have had to hold back. Now there is something coming up in a moment which, when I made the other version of this video, the one I just filmed about 10-20 minutes ago, but I had to start again because I forgot to turn on the map thing. I had some excellent examples on this road, so we'll see what happens this time, but I might well put the other video in because I was recording, but the map just won't be on that video. But can you see on this road that you can't see, and it is two-way. So I'm coming down here, I'm ready to hold back. And this is quite odd because it gets people thinking, well, where are we going? You can't really see where the road goes. Well, it goes to the left. But what there is now is a tunnel. So let's see what happens this time. I'm going to flash my lights so people can see my lights on the wall. I'll also sound my horn. And I'm ready to hold back, ready to hold back, ready to hold back. There's a car there, so I shall stop. And I'll go back a little bit. There's a car behind me who's going to have to back up a touch. So I'll just go back a little bit. The car's making that noise. If you don't know what that noise is, and the car behind's got it wrong because I just expect it to go. That is an even better example than last time. The car behind me was just going to go around me. They just thought, oh, they've stopped. This is very narrow, so I'm being very careful. And as I said in the other video, if you've got a reef sign on your car, be careful. Now this car is coming through. I don't know where we're going to go now. I'll have to go into that little bit there. If I just signal, they're going to go back. I was going to signal left and show them I was going to go into there, but they're going back. This is an even better example than last time, because what's coming up here? A Ford, yeah, a flooded road, a Ford. So, I do clutch, brake, roll, very, very slow. That car's done really well to go back. I should be looking there, in case any ducks are coming up the Ford or whatever. Thanks. I'll go clutch, one, creep, very unusual situations that. And there's something else unusual coming up, and the point of this is that when you learn to drive, it's very easy to not cover things like this. And this road is two-way, even though it's very narrow. So I'm just checking my mirror, braking. I don't think anyone's coming the other way, no, because I could see a fairway ahead. Now I know what's coming up, but if you don't know what's coming up here, apart from this car, I have to brake. Then I have to go back because I can't really go back all the way. I'll go around the bend. Just say thanks to them. And you get this tunnel, and this gets people, well, what's going on? So mirrors, brake, there's a train, that's good timing. I shall say, there's a horn. I was just going to say I'll sound my horn, but I heard a horn, so I know there's someone coming through. I hope they can get back. Oh, yeah. there going up the pavement. I'm going to flash my lights and sound my horn. It's very hard to see. Very hard to even get through. I haven't been here for years. I knew it was here, but it's very, very narrow. If you've got a roof sign on, be careful here, instructors. It's a very low roof. I'll go through here, and that shakes people up, like the train going over the bridge and the car beeping. What else is there now? A Ford with a bike, is it? Yeah, that bike's been mangled. So slow down into first gear. Not exactly a deep Ford, but yeah. And people have been known to drive along there, not that particular one, but there are others around here where people have driven along the Ford because the stand nav is saying turn right, and they think that's the right. That van ahead is going to come over, but the car behind is a cyclist from the right, so I'll stop, handbrake. There's also a car as well. Lots going on, I will explain this in a moment. But the car behind just thought, that maybe they didn't, but often you get this in the learner car. People think, oh, it's a learner, they don't know what to do, and they'll just go around them. They started to go around me, and there's nowhere to even go. Maybe that wasn't the case, but a lot of people just see a learner car and think it's a learner, they don't know what they're doing. When you come across a learner car, it may not be a learner driving. Right? You don't have to take the L plates off this car because it is a driving school car. So the noise from the car, again, it's because lots of people abuse his car. He's been doing that more recently. I'm getting his car serviced soon, so I'll ask him to look at that. But I've had it looked at many times, and they just keep saying it's just the way the car is. It's partly because people have abused the clutch by moving off incorrectly by doing the clutch on its own, and it strains the clutch. But it started doing it not long after I first had this car. So there's nothing wrong with it. He's been doing it for 7 years and it's fine. Mechanics have said it's fine. But that's what that noise is, if you heard that in the video, where it kind of goes when I move backwards. I could reverse because that road was a two-way road. It wasn't a one-way road. And I did flash my lights to sound my horn. The car the other way didn't sound the horn, but we just saw each other in time. I did back up for them, but they were also getting ready to back up for me. So lots going on there. But that is a very awkward bit of road. It's quite poor, really, the design, because you really can't see much at all. It's like, you'd expect them to come and do something about that. I don't know what they could do, but you'd expect them to maybe fix it somehow. But you notice the awareness there. I was being aware of the car behind me and the vehicle ahead. If ever you see someone braking, always think, why are they braking? Now, maybe the car behind didn't plan to go around, maybe they were just getting a better view. But it looked like they were just going to go around me. And you do get it like in driving lessons. Have you had that where you're learning and you're doing nothing wrong? People think, oh, it's a learner, I'll go around them. They're doing it all wrong. That's them getting it wrong, not you. So always think. I also remember a time I got to a roundabout once, and this car coming from the left stopped. I still remember this years later. And I thought, why have they stopped? The car from the right stopped here. They stopped for me. And everyone stopped. There was the car there and a car there. And I was coming this way, it's like a T-junction with a roundabout, and they both stopped. And I thought, why have they both stopped? Because it was obvious they could go. And I stopped as well, and I saw a fire engine coming down from the left. It was flying down without the siren on, just with the lights on. And I thought, oh, that's why. So whenever someone does something unusual, always just pause for a moment, assess what's going on. It's something we call LADA, L.A.D.A. It's a good acronym, LADA. Look, assess, decide, act. So, look, assess, decide, act. I did it there. I looked at the road, I assessed there was no one there, I decided to go, then acted upon it. So always do that, look, assess, decide, act. Don't just jump in. Now there is something further on which catches a lot of people out. I'll pull that window down a bit. That's to keep the camera cool, because that camera can overheat. But when I pull the window back up, that window has a habit of going down before it goes up. So if that happens, just be ready for that. I'll point out on this road's a little bit quieter, but there is some good stuff coming up in a moment. I've taped this wire to the mirror, so I don't know if I mentioned that before, because I've made 3 versions of this video now. But that wire kept coming off recently when I was accelerating, so I've taped it to the mirror so it doesn't come off. So coming up here, there is something what I call a local junction. I actually did that window. See, it's gone down. That window's gone down. That's some years ago. I was doing a lesson, and it went like that. I'll tell you that later. I've just said that story before. Coming up here, there is a road where there are 4 lanes. Now, the advice I always give, because it's what you must do, is to keep as far left as you can, actually 5 lanes. But why is no one going in lane 2? Get around that car. Why is nobody using the far left lane? Because normally you'll be in that lane, the empty one, to go ahead. But why is no one doing that? It's everyone around here knows why. If you don't know this area, you wouldn't really know that because you can't really see. It's quite hard to actually see from out there. But there is a reason why, although you can be in that lane, that car did it, you can do that, but there is a reason why people don't. See if you can spot what it is. And this is not the thing that caught me out, because this is quite a new junction, a new design. But can you see what's happening with the left lane? The arrow on the floor, what's it saying? It ends. So if you're in that lane, you've got to suddenly get back. So that's why nobody goes in that lane. It's kind of a bit of a silly lane. Look at the signs on the left now, the green signs. What are they saying? What do they say? Both lanes go right. So I'm going right from this lane. This is what I say, keep as far left as you can. You don't give way on this roundabout. Notice they give way to us. That's where I stopped when I was a new driver. I've been driving for about a week. And I stopped there, and the person behind us, remember, blew the horn saying, go, go, go. Because I hadn't come across anything like that. So I'm coming along this road, ready to stop because the lights, the man's pressed the button. Nope, we're okay. So, you see there's quite a few unusual things there. We've had the roundabouts in Austin Village. We've had the tunnel, the ford, the flood. We've had that, the lanes right there, the roundabout, the junction, all this stuff going on. So lots going on. Now further on this road there is another few unusual things, and the point of this is, please ask yourself this question when you're going for a driving test. Could you handle these things? Honestly, if you came across things like that, would you know what to do? There's a man on left there, I forgot to say about this, I forgot he was in there. It's a man, it's not a man. I've had people stop waiting for him to cross. It's not a man, it's a dummy. There are cars parked here, so I should look, assess, signal. That car's going to be good, that's good. Sometimes there's an advantage to being in a learner car, because before I was saying about it could be a drawback. Sometimes people do give way to you. I went to signal left here because you don't have to signal left to return to the left lane, and if I'd signalled it would have looked like I was going down there perhaps. So you can argue that either way, but you don't have to indicate to return to the left lane. That car's choosing to, that's fine. Well, the driver of the car is, not the car. But yeah, that isn't a man. I have had people stop for that man, thinking it's a man, he's just a dummy, he's been there for years. So coming up in a moment, there's another unusual bit. Now what do I mean by unusual? Because you could say, well, that's not unusual. Unusual is something you don't normally come across, that's why it's unusual, not usual. So around here, there are not many tunnels with fords after them. There are not many roundabouts at all where you go right from the left lane. So if you live in an area where there's loads of this stuff, you might be thinking, well, that's not unusual. But it depends. Don't you think see this as an unusual windscreen wiper on a blue car? I like that, talking about cats, don't know if you'll see this. They've got a picture of a cat on the back window and the wiper is the tail. So it looks like a cat wagging its tail when you got the wiper on. So, yeah, they're good. You might see it now when we get closer. So further on, there is another unusual thing coming up. So mirrors, brake, clutch. Can you see it on that blue car? I don't know if you'll be able to see that. There's like a picture of a cat in the back window. And the tail, the wiper is the tail of the cat. So when they put the wiper on, it still looks like the cat's wagging its tail. So further on, this road is not that unusual, but it is a bit unusual because there is something happens here. I'm not actually going to tell you what this is. I'll tell you some of it, but I won't tell you all of it. But you're going to have to be careful and spot something. So I'll proceed ahead. The road changes to 40. It used to be 40 all the way, but it's 30 there now. So I'm going ahead, just watching this car. They're going to go ahead as well, so I'll speed up a little bit. So looking ahead, what is the national speed limit? So I'll check my mirrors, that blue car will probably pass me, like accelerate moderately. And I'll get to 5. So this is quite unusual because it's a national speed dual carriageway, so 70 miles an hour. But it's quite bendy, it's quite unusual to have a dual carriageway. I don't know if it comes across well in the video, but it's very bendy and twisty. And I'm doing about 55-ish. The speeder you see is a little different because they're all slightly different, but can I get around this red car? Oh, past them. Mirrors, signal, off I go. I don't have to pass them, it's getting quite foggy actually, but I can pass them. Wait till they're in my middle mirror. Well, I can see the front of their car in my middle mirror. Check, signal, return. The blue car's going to come off, that's fine. There's a little slip road coming up here. And I'll go straight on, so I'll pick up speed again. It's actually getting very foggy. I'm going to turn the lights on. The lights are already on. I was going to turn them on manually because the automatic lights don't work so well in fog. But there you go, that's a bit unusual, getting some fog. The van behind should be in the left lane behind me, but they're just going very slow and dropping back. And this is where I want you to help me solve a mystery. Because for years I came past this lay-by. See on the left there's a lay-by where it says P parking. For years I drove past here and it's a little lay-by with some steps that go up into the forest. And I always thought one day I'm going to pull up in that lay-by where the lorries are and I'm going to go walk up the steps because I want to know what's at the top of those steps. And it went on for years and I kept seeing the steps and I thought one day I'll go and walk up those steps. Just there, the steps goes up the hill. And I thought one day I'll go and walk up those. And earlier this year, I think it was about March, I had some spare time. So I thought, I know, I'm going to go and walk up that hill, the steps by the hill. So I pulled up there and there were no steps. And I'd even looked on Google the night before on Street View and I couldn't see the steps. And I thought, I don't know where they are. And there aren't any. So I went back and looked at older pictures on Google Street View and there are no steps. There never were any steps. So what was I seeing? I swear there used to be steps. I remember saying to people, oh, look at them steps going up into the forest. Maybe they were there years ago and they've just gone now. But really weird, I swear there were steps going up from L.A.D.A. I need to go and ask really the people who were there in that hot dog van, whatever it is. I'm sure there were some steps going up there. See, these unusual things that happen when you drive. And we're going to turn left here. Just out of interest, because there's not much to say about this. The car's not turning off because I've just turned the blower on. If I turn that lead on because it's getting a little bit foggy and misty. Just out of interest, along there is where I used to do karate. I've mentioned in other videos when I did karate. I used to go over that way to do that. So next left, this is a little bit unusual because it's almost kind of like a slip road, but not quite. I haven't been around here for years. So mirrors, signal. What's the speed limit now? What would you think it is? So it's like a small miniature slip road almost. Not even really room to get your car in, but it's kind of a mini slip road. So I'll turn in. What's the speed limit on this road? There are no signs, so what was the last sign we had? Because this gets people, this always catches people out. What do you think it is? Now I'm doing about 26-ish because it's quite a short road. So mirrors, signal, clutch, brake, just our normal brake, clutch, brake, the low speed doesn't matter. Steer, gear, doesn't have to be steer gear, but it can be, it helps learners to get used to it. And I'll go next right, and there's something along this road which really catches people out. And don't worry if you're watching this video as a people of mine thinking, oh, it won't catch me out now. It still does, even when people know what's coming up, because it's different. Watching the video is very different to actually doing it. So the speed now is 30, but what was it on that other road? Let me know, what do you think it was? Because it's not obvious at all to a lot of people. So the car is telling me the limit's 60. It's not. When we go past this sign, it'll probably read that. Yeah, no, it's just 30. This car's got a camera that can read the signs and tell you what the last sign was. So there's a bag on the road, but I'll go over that, it's not too bad. There's something coming up, and I'll give you a clue. I call it the roller coaster. Why do you think I call this road the roller coaster? Well, the sign's telling us that it's getting quite narrow, but it's 60, so we'll go. Well, we'll pick up speed. Let's go. Don't do that because of what's coming up. The roller coaster. I don't know if this will come across in the video. It's very steep. It goes down, and I've had people screaming it. It pulls you down. You have to drop down to 2. If you stay in 3, sometimes here the car's labouring. Not too bad, but it struggles, so you get to 2 and accelerate and go through it. You need the power to get up the hill. That really gets people, that roller coaster. People say, where did that come from? Because I teach around Birmingham. Now, I only just live in Birmingham. It's very foggy here. My lights are still on. It's almost getting bad enough to have the fog lights on. How do you know if you need your fog lights on? What's the minimum visibility? So I can just about see far enough ahead. But the minimum visibility is 100 metres. If you can't see 100 metres, you need your fog lights on, which is roughly like as far as I can see here, from here to the bend. It's kind of twice that distance. Distance is hard to judge on the camera because again the camera's got a bent lens. You kind of, you know, it's like a fisheye lens to fit more in, so it's hard to judge speed and distance from these cameras. But that gets people, and those are most of the strange things I want to show you. But while we're round this way, I might as well go and finish in quite an unusual place, which I was actually going to get out of the car and walk and show you, but it's a bit too bad, the weather, so I didn't want to get soaking. Bird on the road, he's got out of the way. But there's a thing up here which is quite odd. And I've lived around this area all my life and I didn't even know this was here. Until recently, about, was it 2 or 3 years ago or so, I found this. So I'm going to keep going. It's quite steep, this area. This is the Licky Hills. Licky Hills is a brilliant area. If you've never been here, there's a forest there. It's about, oh, it's massive. It goes on, you can walk for about half an hour or more before you come out the other side. There's loads of old trails, twisty paths left and right. It's a brilliant place to visit. The child bollard is gone. No, it's there, still there on the left. See the child? The fake child? They've moved it. I made a video years ago about that, something quite unusual around this area. I am actually going to turn my fog lights on, you know, because it's that bad. I need the fog lights. I didn't expect that at all. I didn't know it was going to be foggy. I'm going to go, is it next left? No, it's not that one. No, it's not that one. Yeah, I didn't expect to have the fog lights on, but I've got the front and rear fog lights on. The visibility below 100 metres. It's the next left, that's it. A child bollard, if you're watching this, you don't know what a child bollard is. It was an idea that I had years ago. I used to work there, by the way, that garage many years ago. One of my many jobs, I used to work in there. Yeah, I'm going next left, so I'm thinking of 100 things at the same time here. The child bollard, the left is coming up. It's hard to get to the road, it's got very foggy. That would be great to go in the forest today. It's really spooky in that forest. Yeah, it's like you can easily get lost, don't you? You actually get lost in there. It's so big. I got lost the other day. I went round, I thought, where am I? I've never been in that part before. But thankfully there was someone around I could ask. GPS doesn't work in the forest, Gage said, why don't you check your phone? I did. The GPS doesn't work because it tells you you're about a mile away because the trees messed up the signal. So it's a really good place to really isolate yourself from the whole world. A child bollard, let's get back to the child bollard. Let's not forget it. A child bollard is a plastic child they put at the side of the road. And the idea is you're supposed to see it and think, oh, it's a child, I'm going to slow down because of children about. The problem is that once you get to know it's a plastic bollard, people don't think that. So they move you around, I think that's probably why they do it. But it's supposed to sort of encourage you to slow down. I'm slowing down now because of the fog. It's really bad, it's quite dense. I'm going to finish just up here. I'll go into this car park and I'll show you what's here, but it's something quite unusual. I know that this isn't really about driving itself, it is, because when you drive, this is the kind of stuff you get to do. This reminds me of the time I went in, 2 years ago, I went to Devon to film a video where I went ghost hunting in Devon. That's just how the weather was like then, all this fog and mist and whatever. So if I take the next road on the road, next thing on the right, it's not a road, it's a car park. It is here. Hope you can't really see that well. What would you think is in this car park, or just past the car park? Well, there is a wonderful view of South Birmingham, and there's also, what do you think you'd find? Massive bumps. That's not what I thought I was going to find. What would you expect to find in Birmingham, the second city in the UK, if you don't know? What would you find here? Well, of course, a castle. Yeah, there's actually a castle here. You can't see it because of the fog, but there's actually a castle. And what I'll do is I'll probably put some pictures and video up on the screen of when I visited that castle. It's a very small castle. It takes about 20 seconds to visit the whole thing, but it is a castle and there's some fantastic views. And I was testing out the zoom on my camera. I've got this massive zoom on my camera, and I was zooming in, zooming out to see how far ahead I could see. So I hope those videos helped you to be prepared for unusual situations when you drive. I need to stop getting so excited and slow down. Hope it's helped you, and check out my other videos on the screen there for more help. Visit my website firstdrive.com. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you again soon for more videos.